Welcome to another episode of Active Disclosure. This is your host, Samuel 6, all that fabulous fun. And Wednesday now, and we have here Arma at its most immediate form, just scoping out the area. From the looks of it, she is on patrol for any other intruder. As you seen her the other day, she has scrapped it. And what's good about it, for the most part, she's a decent sized kid. And didn't let her disability take over. Hell no, she definitely devoured the day now. She is definitely a nice cat. Very fortunate to have a friend like her. That right there, Arwa. So yeah, just enjoy our beautiful mornings here in Phoenix, Arizona. We're at Maribel Luxury Condominiums, also known as the Maribel Projects now. By comparison, on 20th Street, Virginia. Every time I say that street name, or when you look at the athleticism, any more humanoid upstairs, I'd be like, oh, you probably. And it's funny, people's mentality. Hell no, you don't have to do a damn thing. Freaking bottle just fell right now. Some dust. But yeah, I'm not gonna enjoy one because of I can sit here. The exposure here during middays around 10 after the news, you just sit here and you can feel the breeze, so it feels great. And yeah, man, freaking my last episode titled Magnus Aurelius Bella Ocotillo aired. We're explaining how I failed somewhat on the copper side. And just got done munching. Reached out to Kim Morgan over in Syria. Team Alpha in Syria. And her wanting to come back. So I told her I just had right now some potted meat, Amor, something like that, cooking, and a bag of chips. It's seasoned tortilla chips, pretty good. 2 different types of sauces, Red Devil and Melindo Mexico. Inside that bag I usually carry with me. So yeah, definitely finding someone on the copper side that was strange to me. I'm like, what is that person doing laid out? Every time I pass by through here, I tend to notice. This is probably the 5th time I pass by, and I tell myself there is something going on. That guy, just like that stagnant body of water there, just pretend that's how I seen it. This motherfucker's been there for a minute now. Oh, boy, reality. And just like over at Bridges in San Francisco, help us on the way. Hell nah. I didn't care if he was on the copper side. I just feel that this needs to be brought up to the attention of someone. So I started with the shoulders, and he wasn't responsive. So I struck him again, and he kind of nudged. After that, I just shook him. So as much of a chest compression, being 23 times was less than that. From the looks of it, long shifts, just a simple reminder. Afterwards, it's a different story when it comes from standing someone. But yeah, freaking for the most part, luckily he wasn't too damaged. He just fell asleep, and that's it. He got away with. And you know something? It doesn't surprise me one bit that Manny do this. Think about it. If you're able to, like, for instance, I'll give you an example. Over at Tempe 3, Bank of America corporate site, Tempe 3/14, Bank of America corporate site, which is eastbound off the I-10 and Broadway. You had northbound on like Hardy towards like 5th Drive. You make a left, you're gonna head westbound. You're gonna see it, big old Bank of America corporate site. And this is before sections of it had to be leased out, just like at or in Buckeye, they like the way we worked. Uh, G4S Secure Solutions, basically the Protect Service Manager, the way he would see us, those are his grunts of choosing, those are his grunts of choice, I say, and for good reason. Man, I'll tell you, he was a customer protection officer. Jerry Williams, predecessor, oh, I should say successor to Isilla Brown Priscilla Tovar. She was a custom protection officer, and the way Isilla Brown sees it's basically that going back to work. What the only difference is that you are underpaid, but it all depends on client. This could benefit you, or you could just be at a well-earned spot, to be honest with you, because most spots that we send our typical custom protection officer to, bank protection officer, that's prestigious there, but a custom protection officer could fill that role any day, anytime, and that's just how it is. Uh, like I said, I got a hold of Simon in Las Vegas, Simon Soto. He was one of my cousin's childhood friends. My cousin's Tonito. His name's Anthony, but we call him Tonito. Frank and Kevin, and they hung out with my brother. I'd come home from work. They hang around the living room, watch movies, video games, uh, whatever have you. It's for everyone. A lot of times, my brother George, he makes some really good cocido, real nutritious, real good. The broth, being beef stew with vegetables, corn, squash, cabbage, carrots, garbanzos or hominy. Then it's got gallina pinta. One of my previous episodes, titled "Incarcerated Chicken," where I was telling you about the bars and just like at BD, you know, this you think of an assistant, even so handicapped with disabilities, I should say, because you are handicapped if you're weighing a good 300 plus, depending on height and gender. This lady, oh man, they thought it was a good idea for me to hook up. And one of my favorite noodle brands is Juanita. Man, I love that can of red spicy menudo. But especially after hell nah with lemon and habanero sauce or salsa, fucking hell nah. You hydrate, you raise your pH levels immediately. You clear sinuses. That's one way to stay away from any illnesses. Clear sinuses. That's why a lot of people have their tonsils removed. But hell no, if you clear sinuses, eat a lot of chilies. That's a good way too. You adding chili tipping, and recently I added tomatoes. I was like, damn man, hell yeah, uh, it's worth being Italian anywhere you go. And I say that because of my great grandparents on my grandmother's side. From the looks of it, very social. They'd speak, they speak, they speak Italian, but them relocating from the East Coast uh, over to California from New York, so from coast to coast, and migrated down to Chihuahua, then all the way back up towards Sonora, Nogales. Grandma having 13 kids, 9 kids surviving. And you definitely want to take care of your prostate health when it comes to munching on those rotten tomatoes. And freaking Armo perform a trick, fucking I place a tomato, benefit of the doubt. And that's how it is over at Tempe 3. Speaking of that, because I just thought of Arroyo and Venegas, Lewis over at GoDaddy. And I can remember Jeffrey on that Intel, Jeff Key, saying the best for last, but should have been honest. Instead of, just coming off of from Amazon. I think I had told him I was working for Amazon as a flex delivery driver, Prime and Flex as well. And you make good money, you make fast money. I take my semi-blind brother in my 2016 Nissan Rogue. And the rule was, if it's on your side, you drop it. If it's on my side, or if it's a lot of packages, we collaborate, lock the car up, and back and forth. It worked out. So taking breaks, taking restaurants, tying a shoe, it was a pleasure. being able to help my brother. I know Ben Camp John Sandoval 2012 had this saying, help those who can't help themselves now. Oh, and you know, there's always an edit version, but this one's already in for mature, bland reality. Oh, man, hopefully my double chin don't show. So like for me, it's November every month now. Oh, bland reality. Yeah, Marvel, and just like Dustin's neighbor had told me, picking any more humanoid and you be down there. I'm here thinking, I try my best with no cussing. I tried. But hell no, I'm picking this Compton and Crenshaw on that fabulous spot. And Friday Eve now, well, actually, well, you could say that in a few hours. You know, but trying to break it down, because I'm going to be honest with you, my boy B-Dot Dizzle, he's the originator of Five Nickel Fridays. But in his memory, it's fabulous Five Nickel Fridays. So Brandon Diggs, and I'm not gonna lie, at one point it was Tyrell Brown, co-owner of Rail Drip, as well as King Made Apparel, over at 650 on Scottsdale Road, Lincoln, Scottsdale Road. And oh man, I got a burp. Like I was telling you, benefit of the doubt, Tempe 3 to Intel. You know, Jeff was like saying the best for last. I should have just been honest. You know, at the time it was 8 years. So, you know, just like being asked during a BPO meeting by Trent Cuffman, why do you do what you do? Oh, Forceman, having just 3 BPOs left standing after 3 years. I should have, you know, I should have answered. That's funny because Jim, he took one for me. Fuck no, man. Fucking press with authority. That's the only way to do it. Or else, well, why even bother? So, if I would have been honest, I think what would have happened, I got tired of the patterns. Look, I go to West Farm and Scottsdale. We have a meeting upstairs. Everyone's wearing cowboy boots to freaking steel toe boots. Me, kitty. Remember, what was funny? You know, when he passed away, the first Lincoln. That's all she kept saying. For saving some money on some roto drops now. So yeah, man, freaking if I'd answer truthfully that day, that meeting, West Fargo, I'm like, that's strange. You know, I got a neighbor. It's not my immediate neighbor, but you know, just like them bars and raising a flock of chickens. He's behind those bars, believe it or not, because of his involvement in several bank robberies and trying to get others to think like him. You don't have to do a motherfucking thing. Yesterday I was being greeted. Hell no, after what you put me through? Fuck no, watch when I recover. See if I don't fuck your ass up, nigger. So yeah, man, it really sucks to be this way. How the hell are you gonna be that fake? You know what I'm saying? Hell no, people here are ridiculous. It's not on the contract that you have to do a motherfucking thing and that's it. You pay your part and that's it. Look at that shit, my window. I can't stand the rain. It's funny, Chet Delotto. I had to take a leave of absence. One of our bank supervisors, North Scottsdale. You know, this is the type of job where you can call out without even knowing anything to freaking. And I got nothing against Chad. This is just when he started. Oh, that it's gonna rain illegals. They're gonna start digging. And I started thinking, like, damn, man, I wonder who snatched your phone. Or, you know, you come here from Pittsburgh to Las Vegas, but originally from, and that's how it is. You'd be surprised. That's why I reached out to Abel, Edgar Rico. I told him straight up off the back, man, hey, man, I got no problem with California or LA. It's just some of the people I tend to notice are coming from fucking, you know, just major cities, and that's the honest truth. Because you gotta hustle in Metropolis as opposed to Gotham. There's Gotham here, no BS. And for several reasons, I'm not even playing. There's community members out here. Yeah, Bill Briner, and not just him. Fucking, I go over that bridge and you see a different side. Right here ain't bad at all. Like I was saying, if I would have answered truthfully, as opposed to tell me 314 benefit of the doubt, I'd probably get back with you guys. So you know something, see if I see myself. That's off of those lesbians trucks, fucking hating ass bitches. But oh well, fucking they gonna burn in hell. So yeah, like I was telling y'all, fucking benefit of the doubt. A bunch of times I catch Berkey Bob, hands behind his back, and I followed him on the cameras, the joystick. So I zoom in, Berkey Bob's behind his back. Has his hands behind his back. And he's all calling in rooms he's supposed to be checked. Depending on radio number. So say he had radio 1. Radio or Tango 1, command center over. Command center, go ahead Tango 1. IDF Charlie secure. Command center copies. Shit like that. So this year's rolling, and he would always talk about one of those badges missing you out of here. He was the first one to always tell us that. But just like giving the benefit of the doubt, when documenting everything, having Jeff Ass saving the best left, I would answer truthfully after the panics recognized. Worst thing about it is that the agency putting you to work with people you encounter at the bank. Greg Stillberg, Medtronics, this Cuban guy that he's trained his posture, showing up in a 40 count line band. So even yesterday, me reaching out to Jeff, I was selling, I was this close selling my SKS, Yugoslavian SKS. I almost had to sell my bag of gloves, trying to find the irony, despite it being in front of me now. Oh, and I'll tell you this, if I was in front of him, anywhere near him, talking this way, hell no, he'll just ask me, hey, can I? I've been called in a command center by Ewing, Detective Ewing, and he just basically tell me, hey, keep the two entities apart. This is intel. They don't want me to discuss any B of A matter information. And that's the thing, though. I could be with my brother, mother, and just relaying what's apparent now to what was apparent then. Just connections, and but still, I did tend to notice each time I talk about my experiences. I do tend to notice, hey man, well, freaking, and it's funny because the way some others cope. Like for instance, we had Tom over at L3 7th Avenue and the 101 southbound. He used to work at a nuclear power plant, long hours during protests. I've encountered several protests myself, and even Venegas too, before Bank of America took over countrywide loans, started repossessing a bunch of houses. So even in Las Vegas since 2010, 12, we had several protesters show up, and what they'll do is they'll go inside the bank, and they'll lay a bunch of furniture. Oh, well, B of A took my house, so I have nowhere to stay, so I decided to stay here. And that's the liability there. That's a big no-no. So freaking, having met Jeff Mincher, PSM, in 2012, I was on foot, so I had to take the bus. I had just wrecked my 04 Honda Civic EX, silver rear, custom BMW rear bumper, alloy Honda rims, sunroof, fully loaded, loaded, going to Poly West America. I just coasted, this slope. That's how Vegas is. That's why I had to sell my van, 2001 Dodge Grand Caravan Sport. Why? Because of the fact that you're parked in slope, so a lot of times by the time the fluids reach, you might get a misfill. So, like I was telling you, if I would have been honest that day, man, who knows? This would have continued happening. A lot of times I got to go incognito, give you the benefit of the doubt, and that's just how it is. In the words of the great Robert Brooks before hanging up. So, Bob. And I'll be honest with you, I have no idea how I made it all these years. Barely any sleep. Fuck no. I guess it really is true. The body gives up before the mind. That's why I'm telling you, nothing is over. So yeah, man, freaking, like, see, I know I was talking to you guys about BD. Oh man, I forget. I probably get back to you guys in a little bit. Gonna go on commercial breaks on that fabulous spot. Oh, I didn't even finish telling you guys about the origins. All right. So, my boy, I'll probably tell you guys in a bit, but I'll tell you who's occupying Fabulous San Fridays. It is Brandon Diggs. He's the originator to Tyrell Brown nominating, electing, and someone would call it, oh, well, electing the Negro of the day. Nothing like that. It's just that's my dude right there. That's my nigga. Putting it down for me, vice versa. Had he not backed me up before, absolutely. He had this white male don't show up, wearing all black, sunglasses, bald, backpack, asking me, or just telling me about the terrorist attacks of 9/11. Just asking trivial questions to wanting to come back and tell him, I say, hey man, this guy, just go inside the bank and ask, what's this room for? But no, we ended up getting him trash festival before they backed me up. Type easy. Bah. So elected. There's a new bank captain. His name is electing bank captain Louis Acevedo on that fabulous spot. And Wednesday now. Oh, also known as Hump Day, middle of the week. So having to hear him with his banging music, being DMX, Damien 3 on that fabulous spot. And Wednesday now, oh,